Welcome into our coverage of Bronco baseball here on Spring Hill Sports Live for the first time. One of two games here on the channel. Big matchup for the Broncos as they take on the Olathe West Owls. Welcome going to the broadcast alongside my partner, Caden Carbajo. I'm Brendan Bowen. And Caden, it's a really solid day for baseball outside. Couldn't ask for much better weather.
It should be a great time out here. It was a little windy, to start out the week, but the last couple days have been pretty fair weather, so I'm definitely looking forward to this matchup.
Well, you yourself being a Olathe School District staffer, of course, you and both your sisters actually work in the district.
Olathe West would probably want me to be, but I'm all in on the Broncos tonight. So.
You say that now, but 3 balls and a strike. It's Jordan Miller to upstairs for ball 4, so it's a 5-pitch walk. So we take a look at the defense lineup for this Broncos side. Weiss, Scott Mead control the outfield. McAvoy, Pepper, Reagan, Van Housen, and then Hunter Hall behind the dish. Jordan Miller, the battery. Great pitch from Miller to start off. It's a strike. Jordan Miller, of course, got to see him during the football season. We'll have to play football this coming year at Benedictine. Oh, 2. On the ground to short. Second for one on to first. It's a 6-3 double play as Will Pepper turns 2. And there's 2 out. Start the first.
The only great play, just bearing down there and making his pitch.
First pitch in for a strike to Carter Taldo. One to Taldo. On the ground is second. And the quick play to first in time for the outs. 4 Broncos up to bat next. Folks, we are at a pop-up shower as all of a sudden step aside for a brief moment, try and see if this rain passes. Back here in the top of the second, the rain has subsided. So we do apologize for stepping aside for a brief moment. 4, 5, 6 due up for the Owls. Just only 11 pitches from Jordan Miller in the first. Caden Miller was pretty effective his first time out. Outside of the walk, managed to trust his defense to turn a double play and then would get the ground out to second. Really effective in that first inning.
Yeah, leave the runners, get the double play there. And
so it's Kriskowski. Skies this one into center, and that'll be tracked in for the first out. So 2 pitches, 1 out. Start ahead for the Owls as Miller fires. It's a swing and a miss, 2 balls and a strike. One runs way inside, 3-1. Just only once Miller's worked ahead, but Miller works quick and it's low and inside for ball 4. 6-pitch walk. One out, runner on first. This is Luke Marshall. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Olathe West will rock the navy blue uniforms today. The Broncos in the all whites. Great pitch that misses a little bit outside, 2-0. I've seen Olathe West. They've rocked a black uniform. They also have I think a powder blue as well in the arsenal.
a lot of jerseys.
Yeah.
They're actually moving to Adidas in the coming years. All the Olathe schools are actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Two-0 finds the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Broncos have dabbled in Adidas a little bit, just the football team primarily. Big swing and a miss to get Marshall swinging. 2-2.
When I was there, I think all the sports were Adidas, and then I think they switched most of the sports to Nike, if I remember right.
On the ground, Miller scoops it up. 1-6-3 double play. The second one, the Broncos defense will turn. And the Broncos find a way to escape the inning once again. Another double play to end the second straight inning. We move to the bottom half of the second. No score here on Spring Hill Sports Live. in the top of the third, or top of the second, or bottom of the second, all over the place. My
third
goodness.
time's the charm, right?
Yeah, third time's the charm, something like that. All right, Chopper, that old jump foul.
You know, there was a Royals game a couple days ago where the ball snuck inside the line and it rolled all the way and tapped the third base. It was a nice play.
Mead, Miller, and McAvoy. Next three due up for the Broncos. Mead drops that into left field. It's a leadoff single. And Max Mead puts the Broncos aboard with a runner on base. The first hit of the day for either team. In steps Jordan Miller. One of the most talented athletes come across the school district. That one misses high for ball one. Just an exceptional athlete. Football, basketball, even baseball as well, has always been a big contributor. 1-1.
Yeah, definitely going to miss him on the football field, but I'm glad we're able to watch another month of him playing baseball.
And talking with all of his coaches that he's had, they've saying nothing but praises for this kid. Two balls, one strike. Of course, there goes Mead to second, and he'll be gunned down. Count is 2-2. You're tallied up 2 outs. And then steps in the freshman Riley McAvoy. The thing I kind of like about this team this year is, or you know, I can tie it into softball as well. They have freshmen that contribute very, very quick. You know, you have Skylar Shepard, Riley McAvoy here. Coach Abel said he's going to make a big contribution quickly. 0-2 from Durant. It misses inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hey, despite working ahead quickly, 0-2, he falls even at 2 ball. Durant kicks and fires, and again it's outside, and count worked full 3-2. Three-two in the air, and not a lot of room. Still carry foul, do it again at 3-2. Olathe West dropping a 1-0 heartbreaker against Lawrence Free State just the other day. Right to Durant, who will flip to the first baseman. And the Broncos go through 3 bats. And no dice. We move to the third. No score here early.
Goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more, call Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services 913-592-2336 or visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill.
Here we are in the Top of the third inning, no score. Our coverage of Bronco baseball presented by Strode Orthodontics. Strode Orthodontics specializes in creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and the staff of Strode Orthodontics are experienced, highly trained orthodontic specialists with decades of combined experience. Locations in Spring Hill, Olathe, and Overland Park. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Jordan Miller back to work here in the third. Enters in with the pitch count at 24. Just only 13 additional pitches as we head into the third, and both defenses on both sides have been clicking so far.
I was just panning over to this crowd. What a nice crowd on hand we have tonight.
I mean, Olathe is not too far out.
And it is a Friday night. There's not a lot of games I feel like we've covered on Friday nights, but
Definitely not. Football.
right. Well,
1-1 in for a strike. Cheadle fouls it off. Cheadle continuing to battle on a 1-2 count. For Jordan Miller on 6 pitches. There's one down. It's Cheadle, Goebel, and Goldsmith. 3-2 up for the Owls here in the top of the third. First one misses inside. Only 4 hits on the season. High pop up, it'll stay in the infield for McAvoy. 2 down. And steps in Nick Goldsmith. He's been hitless in his last 2 games. Hasn't had a hit in three of his last 4. He's quickly worked to an 0-2 count. Miller, the quick pitch. Tried to go for the backhand grab. Barehand grab from short. The throw in time.
what a play.
How about that play from Will Pepper to end this third inning? My goodness. The barehand snag. Miller tried to go for the backhand, but Pepper was all over that. And he takes care of the Owls in order. We move to the bottom of the third. Still no score. Here in the bottom of the third. Still no score. We're trying to work as quickly as possible to get a scorebook up and move it again. Bear with us, folks. One count to Van Houten. Quickly falls behind 1-2. Ours is on deck. And Houghton swings and misses at a drop third strike. He'll try and beat the throw, but it's Gets in time to Marshall, and there's one down. You have Easton Bowers stepping in with Colton Scott on deck. 7-8-9 for the Broncos in the third. First pitch in for a strike. Chopper up the middle. Play from second. Long throw in time. That one had that was a lot of ground to cover. And how Boss Guy made that throw, I don't know. 2 down with Colton Scott. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, this has been a ground ball heavy type. It's been a ground ball heavy type of game so far by both teams.
Speaks to the level of how great both these sides have been. This one a high chopper. Be fouled the third base side. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, no score here in the third inning. Broncos looking to try and avoid going 9 up, 9 down to start this ball game. Three balls and a strike. Back to the top of the order with Benny Reagan. First time today, grounded out to short his first time up. He'll step in as a lefty-righty matchup against Ben Durant. Third inning. Stranded. We move to the fourth. Still nothing. Here in Spring Hill. Here in the top of the fourth, and Caden again, I just amazed at how quickly this game has moved, and it says a lot about how both these defenses have been playing so far through 3 innings now.
It certainly has, and we look forward to seeing it the rest of the game, hopefully. You know, I don't think any of these teams are going to let their foot off the gas pedal.
First pitch in for a strike. Miller works quick. And the 2-1 will hit him, who will be awarded first base. So Roseman will be aboard first, and this is Jordan Posguy. Grounded into the 6-3 double play back in the first inning. entered in with only 36 pitches. Poskai, Taldo, and then Kroskowski if anyone reaches. Check back to first. I had to say back in safely as Roseman. Roseman had to dive like Superman all the way back in.
He did not want that ball to go past.
Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. That one skied in the air. It'll carry out of play. Count moves to 1 and 2. One-two pitch from Miller. This one skied into right. And it'll carry out of play. He climbed the wall like Bo Jackson there.
That's great.
Something I don't think I can do anymore.
The first and last letter of
On
Broncos.
the throw down. Rounding second is Roseman. He'll stay put there. So Roseman peruses into second. Just misses outside. A great take from Poskai, 2-2. Again, Roseman is into second base. He represents the runner in score. First out. This guy will reach on the fielder's choice. If it's right to you, just go for the easy lead runner. There is Carter Taldo. Grounded out to Benny Reagan to end the first inning. Two balls, no strikes. Only 3 pitches Taldo saw for Miller his first time up before the ground outs.
There's plenty of game left. No. I see Miss Jamie right now.
Rips that to left. And it'll be called out as Jake Weiss makes the diving grab. Had to wait on that one to see what the umpires are going to call it, but nevertheless a great grab by Jake Weiss.
Yeah.
We've seen him do that at corner a few times.
Yes, we have.
Pitch in for a strike to Sam. 17 hits on the season, ties him for second, and make that 18 as he's got a 2-out single. Block by Hunter Hall. Roberson is on with a 6-pitch walk back in the second. It's low and inside, 2-0. One in for a strike. Olathe West enters in with a record at 14-5. And among one of the few favorites to go back to the 6A state tournament. This one skied in the air. Going to be tracked down by Max Mead for the third out. Broncos force the Owls to strain two. We move to the bottom of this fourth inning. No score still. What a defensive baseball so far.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Back here in the bottom of the up as it's Pepper, Hall, and Mead, and then Miller if anyone reaches. Well, Pepper starts off with a big swing and miss. Any of these teams just trying to find the recipe to try and drive in at least the first run of the game for either team. We've been held scoreless through 3.5 now. And that one torched deep to left field. Back it goes, and it's at the track to be hauled in by Roberson. And that ball was absolutely poached. My goodness.
That was close to being out, but not quite. When, you know, somebody's going to get the momentum started, and you would hope it tends to be tougher to get hits.
Catcher Hunter Hall flew out to right field to end the first. 2-1. Ben Durant entered in with behind home plate and foul. 2-2. Broncos have been aboard base twice. That one grabbed by Durant out of his glove. Hall churning to first, but he won't be. This will bring in Max Mead, who does have the only hit for the Broncos. It was a leadoff single before he would be caught stealing second base. Breaking ball that misses outside. Another breaking ball that lands in, this time on the inner half for a strike. And that'll be the second single today for Max Mead. Up to the dish. And back to Durant again, and it was just right off his foot. First one in for a strike to Jordan Miller. Struck out swinging his first time up. One ball, one strike. Thank you again for joining us here on Spring Hill Sports Live. Brendan Bull and Caden Carbajo back here with you. One ball, two strikes. Jordan Miller. Broncos and Owls Both teams, it's just been a pitcher's duel so far. Two upstairs, count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Durant only walked 1 batter. That was Colton Scott on 5 pitches back in the bottom of the 3rd. Breaking ball, it's fouled off. Miller protecting to 3-2. And we'll have another 3-2 count coming. A 2 on and 2 out for Riley McAvoy. So we'll have a mound visit, the Owls will, as this might be just a short, brief visit to the pitcher's mound. And Caden, what do you anticipate that this mound visit is about here?
You know, IJ, just bear down and make your pitch and try to get out of this inning. I think it's as simple as that. But, you know, I'm sure they've got their plan and in place on what they want to do. Trying to get a ground ball or maybe pop up would be suitable.
And you also imagine the Broncos have been making pretty great contact early. So Durant just trying to find his way to escape. Breaking ball straight to McAvoy as he'll watch it go by for a strike. McAvoy grounded out to Durant back in the 2nd inning to end the 2nd. Big swing and a miss, count runs, no balls, 2 strikes. Oh and 2, 2 on, 2 out. This pitch is high and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We've seen it before with Durant. He will work ahead and then all of a sudden fall behind. I think it's something that definitely is common amongst pitchers, is that they'll try and get, you know, batters to essentially chase. Go low, 2 and 2, or maybe just the command has been all over the place. And McAvoy will swing and miss with his knee to the ground. And the Broncos have left a combined 4 stranded the last 3 innings. We move to the 5th. Still nothing here in Spring Hill. Back after 30 seconds.
I've been doing real estate for 8 years now, and we've run across clients where they're interested in land, but then what do we do with it? Well, what do you want to do with it?
There's a lot of pressure on individuals now to make those decisions quickly. And I think with our experience and our backgrounds, we know how to work with the cities and how to work with the contractors to make it a smoother process for the buyer.
So if you're looking for real estate,
Land planning services,
contact us today at epre.biz.
Here in the 5th, still no score. Olathe West Owls of Class 6A, with Spring Hill Broncos of Class 5A. And for the Broncos, Caden, you have to admire what Coach Abel's done. He's given this team, who graduated a flurry of seniors last year, one of the younger and talented teams that they have this year. They're giving them a hard schedule, and you have to admit the Broncos have done fairly well sitting at 11.
This year with Keaton Neal, and we'll see how he finishes out his senior year. And they're doing kind of what they were expected to do, but let's see if they can do even more.
Of course, a lot of the senior class will play athletics at the next level. Comebacker right to Miller. Bare hand grab by Pepper. The throw to first. In time again. And talk about young talent. Will Pepper right there flashing. Bunt by Cheadle. That'll just kick foul. Broncos knew they would just kick foul, or just waiting and waiting and waiting. Spring Hill is just. Spring Hill's 11-6. Pipe at Cheadle. So it's a spring game. Of course, take a look at what's upcoming regional schedules. I know next week's the last week of the regular season, but Spring Hill softball, a good chance still likely host for regionals. And the first time on this channel, actually, funny enough, Palo baseball and softball will host regionals at the same time. A good likely chance of that.
Yeah, that will be a lot of fun.
It's 1-1 to Goebel. Popped out to McAvoy. Swing from Goebel as he cuts and misses. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Olathe West has some guys also that are going to go play at the next level. And even beyond that, Max Hamilton, he's just signed with Oklahoma State a few days ago. But he is probably, maybe, potentially going to get drafted by somebody in Major League Baseball in July.
There has been a couple prospects here in the state of Kansas that have been looked at to head of the MLB draft. Count runs full at 3-2.
There's
3-2 misses outside for ball 4.
Catcher back in 2020, he graduated in 2020, Alex Burge. He got drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals this past year. Played at, I want to say Cal for a couple years, and then Wichita State, or maybe it was the other way around, but he did play for those 2 teams and did considerably well, and well enough to get drafted.
Late swing and a miss from Goldsmith. Throw down to second, and ball fell out of Reagan's glove. But Goldsmith will start behind him. Goldsmith gets jammed. It's into left field. Must be a single. No runs driven in for Goldsmith. It'll put runners on the corners. Had to chuck that thing in.
Yeah.
Ball. Into his defense as in steps in Roy Roseman. Team lead. Off speed, and Roseman will carry that one. Foul. I think that thing went over the fence too.
Yes, it did.
Also is the team leader in home runs. He has 3. Most doubles as well with 8. He's only been walked 6 times. His current walk to strikeout ratio 8-6. It's 0-2. You'd have to feel excited if Miller is able to take care of Roseman here. Be huge for the Broncos. Miller looks, fires the 0-2. It's off speed that misses out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, two, second straight inning, leaving 2 runners on. Left 2 on back in the 5th. Roseman swings, gets out of a 2-base jam. But still no score here in Spring Hill.
For 50 carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live. 0-0 our score headed into the bottom of the 5th eventually.
Oh, no doubt. You know, it just seems like when you're nearing the later half of the game like we are now.
First in time. 6-3 grind out for Van Houten, and there's one down as it's Van Houten, Bowers, and Scott here in the bottom of the 5th.
But until that happens, you really, you know, I'll believe it when I see it, but we'll just see what happens the rest of the game. That's all we can do.
One 0 to Bowers, grounded out to second his first time up. Hard grounder to third, but it's bobbled. Throw to first to still complete the play, and there will be no throw. Bowers will reach on an E5. It's the first error of the day for the Owls as it puts a runner aboard first. Oh, one runner goes, and Scott fouls it off. Still Ben Durant working for the Owls. Scott flies it to that as we're Reagan's grounded out twice, but certainly is due for a hit here. Community College for head coach. On grounder up the middle. It stopped at second, so Reagan will round into a fielder's choice to end this 5th inning. We go to the 6th. Neither team giving in. Got a little bit more baseball to play here, folks. Stick around with us.
Michael Graham at Farm Bureau Financial Services is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more, or visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill.
I'd like to thank one of our sponsors and Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services for sponsoring Bronco baseball. Michael's goal is to help you plan for 17 South. Posguy, Taldo, and Kriskowski, and then Robert Roberson are back to work here in the 6th, and it's going to hit Posguy. Runner aboard first to start the game. I don't think that's what Jordan Miller exactly wanted to start his outing, but I mean, if you look at the scorebook, and he's done pretty well despite having runners on base.
Oh yeah, and at the end of the day, if those runners don't come around to score, then nobody would care about the runners.
This is Taldo that tried to bunt and fouled off. Taldo 0 for 2 and ground out in a fly out to Jake Weiss back in the 5th. In the 4th.
Sister's actually coached a couple years ago.
That's so.
There was actually 3 Taldo sisters and Carter, so there were 4. He didn't run cross country though.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Taldo. That one upstairs, and Taldo's able to hold off. It's 2-2. Taldo tied for second with Kriskowski, 17 hits on the year. Has tied for the most runners driven in at 16, and he's got the chance to do so with Posguy on second. This one a high chopper to third. It's still fair, but until McAvoy, it's called foul. It's definitely close. So here we go, another 2-2 count. Posguy, Taldo, Kriskowski, and then Roberson if anyone reaches. Again, Caden will drop any Olathe West lore that he knows. I'm sure he's got some Spring Hill lore too, with both his parents working in the district. Count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. I look over at him, I think he's still thinking of one. Here's the first out. Make the one down, in steps in Sam Kriskowski. He's able to reach on base, the single bank in the 5th. Him and Posguy would be left stranded at first and second. The first time in the last 2 innings that the Owls have left 2 or more runners stranded on base. Just that lone runner and Posguy on second. Miller taking a long look at him. He will fire that one all the way to the backstop, and Posguy is into third. Count moves to 2-1, and first run of the game is 90 feet away at third base. Great block by Hunter Hall, but the count runs 3 balls and a strike. Unfortunately, Miller, that one ran inside. There'll be runners on the corners as put runners on the corners with Grozgowski on first, Poskai on third. Have somebody warming up in the bullpen.
Not let me get to that.
Runner to second, throw down. They'll cut it off as Benny Reagan is just keeping an eye on third. There's that corner steal approach. This is a towering fly ball. Back is Bowers to make the catch, and it'll be deep enough to score the first one of the day. The sac fly for Roberson to make it 1-0. First pitch swinging, and it's fouled off. And that hits the top of the dugout on the other field. Luke Marshall. Grounded to third, and it's off the glove of Pepper. That'll bring in Grozgowski, and it's a 2-0 Owl lead. One swing, and unfortunately just off the glove of Pepper, as it'll put Marshall aboard first. Then steps in into left field. So it'll put 2 aboard, and just 2 outs for the Broncos. So it'll put a force at any base except home, of course, and it looks to be that it might turn to a pinch runner here, and they will. Luke Marshall will be pinch ran for. This will be Isaiah Sumner. He'll be on second. Goble will step out and call time. Goble will attack the first pitch and fouls to the backstop. Pitch from Miller. Goble to swing. It's 0-2. Sumner at second. Cheadle at first. So it's Austin Goble to the plate for the Owls. 0 for 1 of the walk. And it's out of the glove. It will run as Hall will take care of Goble at first. To end the 6th. The Owls strike first.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Here in the bottom, half the battery in this game. For Ben Durant, this is actually his first. Pepper for 2 flyouts, 1 to center and 1 to left. They'll fly. 1 up, 1 down. Then steps in Hunter Hall. In the left field, it'll be tracked down by Roberson for the second out. 2 up, 2 down as Max Mead will step in. We'll take a look. I'd like to thank another one of our sponsors, Attic Storage of Spring Hill. Attic offers climate-controlled units, RV and vehicle storage, plus clean, move-in, ready spaces. It's a veteran-owned, community-focused business. Attic features monitored 24/7 units with friendly on-site managers. Rent, reserve, and pay online anytime at attic-storage.com. And steps in Max Mead with 2 down, 2 singles today for the right fielder. It's an off speed that just misses inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. And kind of just your gauge, Caden, on how Durant's done in his first start as he gets that one taken to left field. Mead is around first and he'll be into second. It's a 2-out double and the 3rd hit of the day for the Broncos.
You know, he's done really well. You know, he's making some great pitches, and you know, that one was probably one of his, I wouldn't say worst pitches, but
That'll be Jordan Miller to step into the box. There's 0 for 1 of the walk. The out was a strikeout back in the second. Durant just crossed the 80 pitch threshold. I believe just barely over 100 is the limit, so Durant wants to keep pitching. He has to work quick. Just a little over 20 pitches he has left. One. Miller hits that. The opposite is out.
wow.
And up comes Coach Abel.
Wow.
What a throw. All the way from right to Taldo, and relay just in time as you can see Coach Heinschmidt not a fan of that call either, as we'll take a commercial to the 7th.
Michael Graham at Farm Bureau Financial Services is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more, call Michael Graham at Farm Bureau Financial Services 913-592-2336 or visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill.
We hit to the top of the 7th. As the Broncos will make a pitching change. So they'll turn to Blaise Rodina this year. Making his second appearance in his one game he pitched in this year. He had 2 strikeouts, a recent addition. His job is to just try and take care of the Owls in order to get the Bronco bats back up here in the 7th. Rodina has Goldsmith, Roseman, and Posgai, and then Taldo if anyone reaches. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's off the foot of Rodina, picked up by Pepper, the barehand grab, and just unfortunately couldn't quite do anything with it. Just those are just kind of 50-50. It just took an awkward bounce off of Rodina's foot. So Pepper had to just kind of made a quick reaction. So the Owls will start with a runner on base, and Goldsmith and Rodina will check back on him at first.
I was wondering if they had a pickoff rule in high school. Not sure if that's the case.
Not that I've seen, no. Now, when I call JUCO, I know that they kind of keep with the major leagues and the college rule of you're only allowed to bunt place down. It's quickly Rodina fielding it, and the throw gets away. It's just off the mark to Miller. It'll put a 4. Boss guy bunts, and it's foul. Folks, again, thanks for joining us here at the ballpark. Happy you can join us here for our coverage of Bronco baseball here on Spring Hill Sports Live. We're second to last week of the regular season. Last week we start to wrap it up a little bit before regionals begin here in a matter of a few weeks. Only just 2 more broadcasts for the regular season before, I'll say this right now, if Broncos softball manages to host, or Broncos baseball will host as well, a good chance we'll be there at both. One and 2 to Posgai. He skies this in the air. It's into shallow right. And calling for it is Mead, and he makes the catch for the first out of the 7th. One down for Carter Taldo. First pitch from Rodina with 3. And our last baseball coverage will be on the 12th against Heritage Christian for senior night. Second straight year we'll be doing that. Grinder to short, Pepper to second for one, on to first. It's a double play. The third one the Broncos have turned today. And it's how we end this 7th inning. Broncos 2 to tie, 3 to walk off. That's the scenario as we head to the bottom of the 7th. And you're home for Bronco Baseball, Spring Hill Sports Live.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
McAvoy to lead things off. McAvoy, Rodina, and Bowers. And then Scott, if anyone reaches. So Rodina replaces Van Houten in the batting order as the substitution was 20 for 24, and then 20 will be pitching 3 to first. So Jordan Miller is still in that 5-hole spot. Rodina will bat in the 7-hole spot for Van Houten. So the freshman Riley McAvoy will lead things off. Broncos down to their final 3 outs. Van Durant will look to try and go for the complete game. How insane would that be? Your first game that you start is a complete game shutout.
Be pretty immaculate.
Pin, but I think it might have, production might have shut down. Two balls, 2 strikes, even count. McAvoy swings through and misses on an off speed. I'll turn to freshman who doesn't really get many ABs. You're in a pivotal spot. He'll step out and call time. For a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ferdina gets on and will put the tying run to the plate, and Easton Bowers, on its side, he fouls it off, 2-2. From Durant. That's in the.
Come on, we need you on, bud. Let's go.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
You wanna go get 2 Dr. Pepper's?
Dana grounded to third. Fielded cleanly by Goldsmith. Throw to first in time. It's the second out. And it's down to Easton Bowers. Bowers has reached on an error back in the 5th. He'll take the first pitch. It's in for a strike. Bowers skies this in the air. It's into left and bringing it in. will be Roberson, and that's how we end this ball game. The final score of 2-0. We'll step aside for a post-game show. Coming up after word from our sponsors here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more or visit them.
0, Owls 2. And Caden, your initial thoughts?
That's just sometimes how it goes, but let's pick our.
It was the Owls that were able to get the bats hot here in the 6th. So able to plate 7 bats and would score in 2, but leave an additional 2 stranded as that was the last inning Jordan Miller pitched before Blaise Rodina came in. Did a solid job of just taking care of a hold. And unfortunately, just Ben Durant, a phenomenal game in his first varsity start. I mean, you go for your first varsity start, complete game shutout. That's something you gotta admire.
Yeah, you know, he's a great kid. You know, my sister, she texted in real time during the game. She said, "I like that kid," and that's all you can ask for. A great kid, a great opportunity that he got today, and he delivered on his opportunity, and you ultimately got the complete game shutout.
And you know, I look back at Olathe West's schedule, and then, you know, making his first varsity start, they had played a tournament previously. They had 2 games this week, or 2 games previous before even, you know, headed into today's Friday matchup. And they, you know, I think, you know, being short on arms, they had to persevere, and Durant delivered right there. So that just shows you the camaraderie this Olathe West side has. They improved to 15-5 on the year. Broncos dropped to 11-7, but still are definitely in the hunt to try and secure themselves a spot to host the regional tournament, if not be one of the higher seeds that will head to a solid regional site. As, again, of course, Bronco baseball returns to the air on the 12th of May. Can't believe we're in May already, Caden. It's just it's crept up on us so fast.
Yes, it has. And May 1st is here, and you know, we'll see how the rest of the season shakes out, and it should be a lot of fun.
I'll have the senior night game against Heritage Christian on the air, along with rounding out the week channel. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors and everybody for tuning in with us here on Spring Hill Sports Live. For Spring Hill's own Caden Carvalho, I'm Brendan Bolin, signing off. You've been watching another presentation of Bronco Athletics.